This week on C Plus News Time, Chelsea Handler's late night show on Netflix is going to a weekly format. We have a release date for Kumail Nanjianl and Emily V. Gordon's The Big Sick. And guess which streaming platform a Sarah Silverman stand-up special will end up on? Hint, it's probably the red one. Comedy used to be only available on Comedy Central and HBO. Now these streaming sons of bitches want in on that hilarious gold. Is the market oversaturated? I know something that'll be saturated by the end of this video. Ladies, turn on the dryer because I spilled my juice box all over this. C Plus News Time. Shoot, I hope this comes out.
It's C Plus News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
All the women I date think I'm salsa con carne of comedy. Kind of funny and a little cheesy. Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news that you didn't know about for the week of February 13, 2017. First up, Chelsea Handler's late-night Netflix show Chelsea is going weekly. Beating TBS at their own game, Handler and the streamer decided that this is what's best for the show. Other changes are coming too. Episodes for Season 2 will now be an hour long, whereas the first season's episodes ran anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. There will be more in-depth interviews and remote segments. Handler is also said to go off-continent to places like India and Europe. More details include that the show will stream for 30 weeks, a similar deal that hosts like John Oliver and Sam B have on their networks. Their shake-up follows a tough first season for Handler, whose show was not well received, but very much hyped. Regardless, Netflix gave her renewal way back in July of 2016. Who said they're not benevolent or desperate? Kidding. Next up, your favorite comedy couple, Kumail Nanjianl and Emily V. Gordon's movie, The Big Sick, has a limited and worldwide release date. This summer, we'll see the release of the indie comedy that chronicles the early part of their relationship together. It was written by the married cuties and stars Nanjianl alongside Zoe Kazan. Michael Showalter directed the movie, and Judd Apatow got his grubby but funny hands in there to produce. The Big Sick comes out in limited release June 23rd, just in time for my birthday. The worldwide release date is July 14th. Now let's get some more indoor kids. Please, God. And finally, Sarah Silverman's next stand-up special is heading for Netflix. There's no title yet, but it's set to tape later this month and will premiere on Tuesday, May 30th. Silverman's last special, We Are Miracles, won an Emmy in 2014. The comedian's joint production company, Jash, which is still a thing apparently, is producing. Silverman joins an illustrious company of comedians that have specials coming out sometime soon on Netflix, which is especially strange since comedy specials used to be few and far between. It used to take a big network in order to push out a stand-up set. Even then, it wasn't clear if the comedian was going to be funny or not. Comedy Central and HBO used to be hit makers. Now, Netflix and newcomers CISO and to some extent Showtime and Epix are trying to gain a foothold in the stand-up market special place. How did the two titans gain their footholds as comedy giants? Can titans be giants too? I mean, I'm a man and a boy at heart. Ugh, gross. Back in the late 80s, HBO started the Comedy Channel, the new one-stop shop for all things comedy. It was a basic cable channel as opposed to their main premium offering that had clips from long-form sets and comedy movies and shows as well as originals. Within a few months, however, Viacom, the parent company of the yet-to-be-born Comedy Central, started their own comedy channel. The TV Comedy Network. Very imaginative. That channel only aired comedy TV show reruns. With those two fighting for the niche space, they couldn't see that no one was watching. Cable companies didn't try hard to carry the channels. And the Comedy Channel had fewer than 10 million subscribers. That number would be huge today, but this was the early 90s when TV had 480 channels less than it does now. So that left HBO and Viacom with no choice but to merge the two channels into one big funny powerhouse. December 1st, 1990, and the two became one. The new channel was to be named the Comedy TV and started up in April. Analysts suggest that the merger costs were close to $100 million. HBO and Viacom executives cited reasonings for the merger included marketplace changes and, quote, just common sense. Note that this union came 3 years after Viacom filed a $2.4 billion lawsuit in '88 that said that HBO was participating in, quote, anti-competitive practices that had a negative effect on Viacom Showtime, which was then the leading premium cable channel. The Comedy Channel did not perform well. People were tired of the clip-based nature of all the shows and wanted some originals. Plus, there was confusion between the Comedy Channel and Canada's CTTV. So, within months of changing names, the Comedy Channel was renamed again to Comedy Central. Time Warner and HBO ultimately left the complete ownership of the channel to Viacom in 2003, selling their 50% share back to their partner for $1.23 billion. Both Comedy Central and HBO seem to be waning on the comedy front, with the likes of streaming networks creeping up on them. It's still a goal of many comedians to nab a TV special, but the internet is so accessible. It could be more profitable to premiere a set on there. Not many people still have cable, so what seems like the now weekly comedy special on Netflix is much more appealing. Plus, people will watch anything if it's presented to them at that moment. And surprises are always welcome. Cristela Alonso's new special went up last week without much of a fuss, but promotion on cable is super special. Waiting to watch Pete Holmes' new special over the past few months before seeing his new show has been a considerable delight. In the end, I'm torn. Too many specials can saturate the medium, but everyone deserves a chance to see their hard work and show it off. Netflix may have Dave Chappelle and Jerry Seinfeld, but its competitors can definitely strike back. This is where Comedy Central and HBO fight to get the best of the best, and not all of the rest. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head back to the website cpluscomedy.com, where we've got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. Follow us on Twitter at CPlusComedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Tumble with us on Tumblr. And be sure, if you're ever going to film a stand-up set, to write your notes on your hand or the inside of your arm, so when you wave your hand to the camera, everybody can see it, because that's charming.